Underrated, underrated success. Underrated success. Underrated.
All right, I'm PJ Young. This is Underrated Success. We got my boy Tim Jones here to my right. And to my left, we have Rick Rubin and my man Russell Simmons.
Yeah, Simmie Anderson.
And Fred Hogan.
So they started the LYNN Classic Tournament, is what I used to call it. It's evolved since then. And they're going to talk about, you go into how it started and where it's located and everything. So you want to just start how the tournament started and how it evolved since then?
Yeah, I can start. Well, it started off with neighborhood teams, 4 neighborhoods. LaGrange Terrace, LGT Crew, Warren Street Raiders, 8-Ball Posse, and Williams Ave Dogs.
8-Ball Posse.
And these were crews from all different sides of LYNN. Actually, Warren Street Raiders and 8-Ball Posse were on the same street, Warren Street. LaGrange Terrace, a little cut off of Shepherd, and then Williams Ave Dogs was the East LYNN team. So we just got 4 teams together, all guys that played high school in different sides of the city, and we said, hey, we'll throw $100 up each. Winner takes the 400. No loser, nothing.
So it started off with just 4 teams?
Yeah,
4 teams.
$400.
1992. 1992.
Yeah.
Started off in a keg of beer.
Oh, no. The real deal was if LGT won it, we were having a party. So they knew the girls, They knew the girls were coming to our place. But we knew what to do with $400. We never split our money up like 50 here, 50 now. We taking ours to a party, and everyone knew where the party was going to be afterwards. So that's how the tournament started. And I actually in the first couple of years, we would do multiple tournaments, 3 a summer.
Yeah, June, July, and August.
And we also did a crazy thing. We did to a point total. So the game might have been to 25.
Yes.
And you could be down 24 to 16, and you got to go on a run. And we had to do killer Malcolm Brown dunk. Yeah. Alley to himself, all that stuff. He scored 10 straight points one game and won the game for us. And he was on LGT.
Yeah.
So it's like pickup in a tournament setting.
Yeah. There was no clock or nothing like that. Was it refs?
Yeah, there was refs, but they were like volunteer dudes, man.
Yeah. But I think the game went up to what, 31 or 21?
Yeah, 31, 25, couple different first round, and then the championship we did a little different, so. But everyone knew they came out and they started representing their neighborhoods and stuff. And then soon someone from Salem called, oh, yo, can we get in that? Like, all right, well, we need one more team, so we got to get another team to balance the bracket.
Right.
So I called, we got a team from Boston. Now we got Salem, Boston. Now we got people throwing in their money. It was like kind of crazy.
Before we even get into that, like, I'm from Warren Street and Fred's so it's basically one long street. You got Warren Street at the end, 8-Ball Posse in the middle, and then LGT is at the end. And then we're all in West LYNN. The 4th team is in East LYNN. So it's all on one street, like gangs or whatever. So Fred was a DJ. Fred was a DJ, and I was a rapper.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I hooked up with where Fred lived. It was like I needed to get down to Fred's house to be. Fred was like DJ Clue, man. You know what I mean? So I started going down to Fred's house to do music because his house was like the first hangout, trap house they call it, whatever how they call it now. Like it was the first hangout. So me and Fred started doing music together, and then one day I think I said, we got better ball players than you guys have. And that's when Fred was like, all right, let's set it up this weekend. And that's when Fred just took it over. Yeah. You know what I mean? It went from 4 teams that first year, I believe. Yeah. And then everybody, like he said, Salem and different people in the whole city now. Not just one street. It was the whole city calling. And then Fred just took it from there.
So I'm still stuck on y'all did music together.
Yeah.
So what was y'all first hit?
No. We took that BDP stuff that worked.
Yeah, we just Well, you had RSO come down one time.
Yeah, RSO came down.
Yeah, he came. Our
Ray Dog,
main man.
Yep,
Fred was tied in. Fred was tied in with the music.
I was on the wheels. They were rapping. I bring them to a middle school, and they even rocked the middle school from Big Chuck, all the dudes.
So Fred House was the spot you want to hang at. I wanted to get down there so bad. My mom was like, "You're not going down. There's too many people down there." So the only way I can get down there, I was like, "I gotta start rapping." And use that to get in his house to hang down there. Right. You know, Fred had like 50 people at his house at 9 in the morning, ready to hang out, and they there till like midnight. So that's how we built our bond. Right. And then we just started. But the problem was all the people that hung out at Fred house was all athletes, like people who were supposed to go, Michigans, people that just didn't have the grades or whatever, or just dropped out or whatever. But they still had a game. And remember, these dudes are like 20, 21, 22. Right in their prime. So Fred was the mouthpiece of that. He'd run around and like say...
It was easy.
Yeah. He would talk junk to every neighborhood because he knew we had it.
Yeah.
But we had a good... From Warren Street, we had but Fred and them, I think they won, the first... 12.
We won like 12 in a row or something.
Yeah. So did you two compete? Like you both had your own teams at some point?
Yeah. He was the LG. He ran the whole league, but he had his team too. Because remember, it's only 4 teams.
Right.
But
you had a team.
No, I was part of a team. I was still young. I was only in 10th grade.
Hooping.
I was hooping. I was in the 10th grade.
You was hooping. Okay.
Yeah, I was.
We all were adults, but we all had like 1 or 2 stud high school players on our team.
Yeah. I was in the 10th grade the first year.
Okay.
So
where was you at?
I was at LYNN Classical at that time. I went to LYNN Classical 9th and 10th grade, and then there was a big shooting at that school. And then I kind of my mom was like, try something different. So I ended up going to LYNN English for 11th and 12th grade year. But then me and Fred kind of
But you did say this unedited, right? So check this out. He's the first dude to transfer out of 2 state championships. When he left Classical, they won back-to-back state championships. And he went to LYNN.
Which should have been 3.
He would have been 3.
So you played. So are they rivals?
Yeah. It's like Red Sox and Yankees.
So you went from the Red Sox to
the Yankees. However you want to spit it, man.
So how was that seen in the hood?
Wow.
Because you said the block.
It was
if the average
at
dude
that
does
time.
it,
Yeah, I know
it's
it's not good if the average dude.
Yeah.
I was the first one to do it.
Right.
After I did it, they put in rules. You know what I mean? Like they didn't. They don't want you jumping around like that. So I was the first one to do it in '92, and I played right away. I never set out or anything.
I was about to ask that. I was going to say, was he a hooper in these tournaments?
He was a hooper.
But football was more my thing, though. You know what I mean? But not to cut you off. But me and Fred, so when I started going to the other school, we kind of not lost touching because we lived on the same street, but his mom ran a program at North Shore Community College called Upper Bound.
Yes. Yeah.
And you go up to UMass College for the whole, Amherst for the whole summer. And she see me hanging out in front of his house and you don't need to be hanging out here with all these guys. I'm like, yeah, I do. So somehow she linked up with my mom and he put me in. I got sent away for the summer to go to that program. Okay. So and it was hard. It was so much red tape to get it, but his mom cut all the red tape to get me in there. And he would come up and DJ the parties or whatever like that. So he had Boston up there, LYNN up there, and Springfield.
So it's just a program, you said Upper Bound program?
Yeah, college prep program. Taught him how to live in the dorms and be away from home. LYNN kid getting away from home for 6 weeks or a Boston kid or a Springfield kid. Being in a lockdown environment like that was huge.
He only came home on the weekends.
He only came home every 2 weeks.
But this is the time of no cell phones, no. Right. So you got a girl, you call her house, and her mom say she just left. You might not hear back from her for 9 hours later. Right. So that's where we started building our bond.
It's wild because that program, I feel like a lot of athletes can use that program now. Because they go away, they get homesick. Yeah. They do have phones now, so they probably always on FaceTime or whatever.
So much easier now. and his brother, your brother.
Yeah, my brother Chris ran it for
the whole
years, and then he went on to graduate from Harvard, and he was chief of staff at UMass Boston.
So we'll go back to the
Yep.
So you played 2 sports.
2 sports.
So Tim Jones, I don't know if you know, but he played football in high school and basketball.
Yep.
So his well, he can tell you more, but his love is football.
Yep.
Running
Nah,
back.
that's not my love.
Yeah.
I see highlights as like Barry Sanders.
Yeah, nah. Football's not my love. Basketball's my love, but football is what I was better at.
Okay,
So I was, like all that, all state, all decade, Shriners team, all for football. But my passion was basketball, so that's kind of where you get the entanglement.
The entanglement.
So getting back to the tournament, so. When did you guys start knowing it was about to take off? Like you knew you had something?
Once it hit 8 teams, and now you got teams wanting to get in, you're like, I only want to do 8 teams.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to expand to 10. Next thing you know, we're at 16 men's teams. Now we got high school teams in there. And now it's like, now I'm doing a schedule. Mind you, on one basketball court. We started, you were a scrub team on line. I put you against a big dog and you played at 10 in the morning, you got banged out real quick. We had a theory like you don't make it to prime time until we wipe you off the slate quick.
Right.
I mean? We did draw names out of a hat for like 2 years, and I said, I got to stop balancing the brackets now because everyone was trying to tell you who they're bringing and stuff like that there. So I started balancing the brackets. That's one thing I was real good at scheduling, and I still help. Even though I left after 20 years, I still help Simmie with the schedule every year. He comes to my house the last minute all the time. We have to put, mind you, way more teams on one court.
Yeah.
And
because when he was doing it, he was doing Marion Gardens and Warren Street for like 15 years. So, because I was from Warren Street, he's from Marion. Basically, that's sort of the same thing where he's from. So I was like, nah, we gotta show love to both. You know what I mean? So he was doing both courts. So people was walking back and forth. Yeah. It's like this street right here. Just people was walking back and forth. The losers bracket would walk over here. So he had 2
a recent history thing, and at the end of the Hogan's Classic, you had that BABC team over there playing on Warren Street on a cracked court. I'm talking about Wayne Selden, Georges Niang. All them guys are on a bad court, and they're banging up a team over there, but they had to win to get back to Marion.
So they lost.
No. They started over there just because it was crazy. But I was like, why didn't you put them over there? Because the schedules are like they can only play at this time. So
those are the kids from Boston.
Oh yeah, they're all NBA players now.
You know what they would say? Is you put the Boston kids in the bag.
My boys are like, Fred, just let us bang somebody up over there. That's what I had to do to get them into the.
But there was probably other Boston teams over there too. Like, Boston shows a lot of support to our tournament. So,
but there's other teams like we had to send over there just because we called it the dance floor. You had to win to get on Marion Gardens, because when you walked into Marion Gardens, you see the smoke, you see the grills going, you see the DJ, you see the now we got the stands around the whole court. It's crazy. So people walking there, they're like, whoa. And anytime anybody's first experience of walking into that project when it's packed like that, they're like, wow, this is
overwhelming.
It's amazing.
Listen,
it's
only 3 gardens in the world. Madison Square Garden, TD Garden, and Marion Garden. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's knock it off. Those are the 3 world famous gardens. Anything after that, I ain't been there.
So you just claim you the king of tournaments. Gardens the king.
we the king of we the king. Listen, we the king of the tournaments. First of all, we got 28 years. We the leading. There's no one got over 28 years. That's irrelevant, at least. We the founders of this. I always joke with Chill. He always be like, yo, we the longest. Like, no, we're the longest, Chill. You're 27 years. We're 28 years. 2 different levels. The impact of ours is, like, we always say this. Ours is a community, like a LYNN thing. We don't need NBA players to play in ours. Hey, if you want to come. But we don't need you to make that tournament. Right. Anyone, you know what I mean? Me and this guy right here, it's the community. The community wants to see Anthony Anderson, Antonio Anderson, or from Boston, Will Blaylock or Tony Lee. They want to see local people. They don't really trip over if some NBA guys come in.
Ball,
That don't dictate.
They'll be more happy to see someone local.
Yeah, we don't really get caught up in that. Other tournaments get caught up in that because that's how their tournaments based on who's coming or not. We don't do that. We got 80 different things going on.
Our tournament, the ladies come out for our tournament.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's the LYNN
Listen, man.
The LYNN holiday.
Listen, we got a VIP red carpet, front row, man.
There's no tournament.
I only played this once.
We got
special seats.
We got special seats. Everyone's respectful.
Right.
They follow the lines. We got don't cross this, don't cross that. Give you an example. Just to get into what we're talking about now. We're the only tournament that got every division. We got elementary. We got 8 elementary teams, 8 middle school teams. We got 16 high school teams, 8 college teams, and 8 men teams on one court. Yeah. Our first game is at like 9 in the morning. We got lights now.
We bring lights in.
We bring lights in for the 3 days, sponsored by G&J Towing. We can have game like last year's championship game was at midnight.
Yeah,
got over at like 1:30 in the morning, and then even after that, people were like, "When's the next game?"
Yeah, we made a decision. It got rained. We had to go inside Marshall Middle, but I told Simmie, I'm staying back. I'm going to get the court ready. We got to get the back outside because it's an outdoor tournament.
So as far as because some courts or some tournaments have problems. In Boston, Washington Park, sometimes they shoot up. You know what I mean? The younger generation, you guys go through. Being
we had some. There's been incidents outside the park, outside Marian Gardens.
I'll probably say this, to be honest. Out of 28 years, we probably had 2 incidents.
Yeah, 2
inside the park.
Right.
But
we
handle them real quick. So 2 out of 28. But we get a lot of. Like, it's all family. People, grandmothers, and just, like, even Boston people that come out.
They feel safe.
They feel safe. Yeah. They feel, they show love. It's all love. It's a fresh breath of air for them to come out.
When our ears to the streets, the gangs will reach out to me. And we'll reach out to them. We'll know something's popping. We'll be like, listen, you can't take it here, man. I don't care if you got to show out. Don't show out this weekend. Yeah. You guys got all year to do that. Do that, you know what I mean? Like, we don't want you to do it, but,
you always hear it coming up, you always hear the saying, what is the saying? LYNN, City of Sin.
Yeah.
So how did that start? You know what I'm saying? Like
that was before our time, man. That was
you said it was before us.
Yeah, it was before
our time. Before us. But even that, like LYNN, the city, like when we changed the tournament, people call LYNN Sin City, and I was just like, nah, I don't like that. That's like Las Vegas, you know what I mean? Like, so I changed the name to Shoe City.
Tell them what the Shoe City is, man.
The Shoe City. The shoe is with the LYNN Commons.
Before you go into that, right? So look, I'm in Canada, right? With Anthony Anderson, who's my teammate for 100 years, right? Yeah. So I'm helping him move. So all of a sudden, I'm like, you want this? It's a big trophy. I think it's a basketball, but it's like a size 22 pair shoe.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal size shoe. Gold.
Yeah, Reebok.
Gold.
Black joint with gold.
So I'm like, what is this? He was like, oh, it's the MVP trophy. He's a Simmie crazy.
Yeah.
But it was like, I swear it was like
22 years, size 22.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Actually, what was it? No, I'm sorry. It wasn't a 22. It was a 20. Because what happened was...
I got one too. Right?
It was his 20th year.
Okay.
And I went up to Reebok. And I knew some people up in there, and they gave me... I said, I need a size 20. I need a size 20.
They probably looked at you crazy. Like, what?
No, because I had a Reebok deal.
Oh, okay.
I had...
Oh, y'all had deals.
Yeah.
I had one. I had... a Reebok. I used to coach at LYNN English.
Right.
2010, 2009, 2000. Actually with him too. But he did the girls, I did the boys, and somehow I came across a Reebok and Nike deal for $40,000 each for 2 years.
So you had both.
Yeah, we was the only team in America wearing Reebok and Nike, like two deals. Nobody wears 2 things. Like Puma, Reebok, Nike.
Yeah, right.
It's one thing.
Right.
But I had 2 deals. So this was around 2010. So when it was 2012, when he already had the bond with them to go up there and get Shaquille O'Neal's size 20. So so we supplied the high schools with LYNN English with a 2-year deal. basically $80,000 worth of merchandise, sweatsuit, sneakers, track, everything.
Thanks.
We was ranked #1. So I was starting to build up the basketball resume to eventually take over 2 years later from him.
That's smooth. So you say you coach the girls?
Yeah.
So how'd your girls do?
Oh, we were always ranked.
Yeah.
We were always ranked in the top 10 in the state
Yep.
every year. My last year, we finished #2 in Massachusetts because we lost at the Boston Garden after going 25-0, which wasn't too good. We lost at Braintree. They ended up winning the state
Braintree was
title.
good back. I used to coach girls. I liked coaching girls because they listen.
Oh yeah, they listen.
You tell a girl, I need you to go over here, dribble through your legs and pass the ball. They'll do exactly that. You tell a dude, he'll boom, 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 and pass and then get it back and then shoot them. Say, listen, this is what I need you to do. So I find that it's easier to coach females than
My thing is getting inner city girls $200,000 scholarships is what it's about. All right, Division II and Division I. I got all Division II scholarships because those were worth just as much as Division I, and they all graduated from college. So that's what was up.
Education.
You know what I mean?
Right, that's power right there. That's respect.
Definitely.
So we went from 92 and evolved since then, obviously, right? So you started with 4 teams, then you went to 8. And then where is it at now?
We're probably at like
you just did it. You broke it.
48 to 50 teams.
Yeah. Right. And he tries to come with me.
Yeah.
He tries to come with me with a schedule and for one court. And I'm like, Simmie, listen, it ain't happening. You know what I mean?
He always tells me,
yo,
30 teams is the limit. And I was like, yeah, all right, cool. Right? But then people keep calling, and I'll go to his house, but somehow, man, he works magic. But we're close to 50 teams, I think, on one court.
So, I was talking to Anthony, and he was saying that the younger league or the younger bracket, they get more. As far as they'll get bikes. Money.
Yeah.
So is that the generation you target, the younger generation, because of the violence and just to keep them on the straight and narrow path?
No, it's not even really. I won't even say the violence, man. Me and this guy right here, our hearts are so big when it comes to LYNN. Like we'd do the same for a man, a 30-year-old man, and a 5-year-old. Yeah. Like we just like. First of all, our tournament. Back to our tournament, I believe like we got the most sponsors in every tournament. Like when he gave it to me, it was like gave me like 10 sponsors. Man, we're over like 100 sponsors now. You know what I mean? So like we're over like 100 sponsors, but none of our community is so good that this isn't even possible without our stores and like a lot of people just donate stuff like Walmart donating bikes, mountain bikes, $200 mountain bikes, and we got customized trophies. Like I don't want no trophy that some little league kid got in his room. Like it's all custom. We give out championship hats, shirts.
And another thing,
every night we
Simmie switched to the cash prize.
But that's just for the men.
Now I did it to protect the college players. Because I had a lot of college players.
Which we still protect the college players, but
the college players were playing in the men's division when I ran the tournament. So. And there was an incident with Tyrese Rice from BC, and them. They got snitched out because the UNH was going to play BC, and the UNH assistant coach decided to snitch him out. And when they called me when the BC athletic director called me, I said, "Listen, they play for a plaque, and I'll write a written statement on that. There's no money exchange or none of that stuff there. You know what I mean?"
Well, like when Fred stopped in 2012, it was like social media, like everything changed. You know what I mean? He did it for 20 years with no money when people was doing that. Soon as he stopped, money came involved. Everyone started doing money, and I was like, I gotta do money now, right? So I started off, I think it was like $2,000. Then it was like $3,000, $5,000. And just last year it was 10,000. So not only we the most. We pay the most in mass. Nobody is over 5. Nobody.
As far as tournaments.
Yeah.
Consistent. I mean,
you know what I mean, like
Biv.
But we can't even count Biv. Yeah. We talking about just hood tournaments.
Like consistent.
Yeah.
Not like we won 20,000.
People keep going, and we don't play with people money. whatever it is we say, that's what it is. We give out the most gifts. And we got our tournament is 3 nights, where some people is 1 night or 2 nights. Every night we bring all the kids in the middle of the circle and throw like $1,000 and ones up in the air, and they go crazy.
Yeah, they go crazy.
Every night when the lights go, we just for them, for the kids. You know what I mean? Like an intermission, we throw $1,000 up in the air and everyone goes crazy. We love our community so much, and it's like we got the DJ out there. We got everything out there. We got everything out there. We get our court done over every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
There's a lot of hoods that don't.
We get it done over, and this guy's a big part of that. Like everything I've learned or doing right now, I learned from this guy right here. I just more watched his mistakes. Like, man, I already knew his positives. But you got to watch people's mistakes sometime to learn from that. A lot of people.
My biggest mistake was I didn't take the money from people right away. I got stiffed a couple times, but my thing was I told Simmie I wanted the talent to come too. So if I lost $200 in registration fees, they might have bring 4 players that are going to make the tournament better.
So you was allowing teams entry.
On word. And some dudes got bad credit with me to this day. So if you out there and you got bad credit with me, you know why I don't give you no shout out.
I was just gonna ask what was the biggest hurdle for you guys? You know what I mean? Like what's the biggest hurdle when you're running a large tournament like that, opposed to some of the smaller tournaments or tournaments that you know of? Like what's the biggest hurdle you believe?
It's logistics. It's logistics and putting everything together on the court. But Simmie will tell you right now, we were just in a car and I'm like, Sim, when this is the first year in 28 years, there's no tournament. How does he feel? And it's a kind of relief because right now he'd be grinding right now. He wouldn't be able to do this interview because it's a grind. It starts months in advance. You know what I mean?
That COVID, COVID took over.
But no, the biggest thing is like for me, I took over in 2013, but I don't really have any issues because I've learned so much from his mistakes.
Right.
Like he trained me for 4 years.
Right.
I think I got up with him like 2008 to 2012. So he would put me in a lot of situations.
Right.
So like he'd be like, all right, go get this check from, this ward council. And I was like, me? like he ain't gonna give it to me. And then he would tell me, I was like, yo, all right, make it up to Simmie Anderson. He's like, nah, man, you got to make it out to the company. And and that's another thing. We're not no pickup. We're a company. Like I went to the bank. We got tax ID numbers, called the government. We're legit. So just in case, all you people out there is doing tournaments, you want to try to get legit. There's a lot of people out there counting your money or this and that. Like that. You got to get legit. You can't just be waking up Saturday talking about we're doing a tournament. I got insurance on you guys, $1 million insurance if you sprain your ankles. I got all that on you guys.
Let's go.
So you can't just be out there waking up talking about doing tournaments. You got to get your business right. When you guys go see, like I told you, he gave me 10 sponsors. I got over 100 now. But how you guys get sponsors is you guys got to get letters from City Hall and documents. So when you walk into these businesses asking for $1,000 or $2,000 and you got the right paperwork that says, this is from City Hall. Now they know you got backing, and they're like, all right, here you go.
Right.
But you just going in there on word of mouth, ain't nobody's gonna give you nothing because a lot of people ain't trusting people right now.
A lot of people not gonna say what you just said either because they want to keep it to themselves.
Keep it to themselves.
Yeah. So just by you saying I can see why the hood. Or just LYNN in general loves you because they respect you because you're gonna give back that information. A lot of people are not gonna say that.
Yeah, same thing with places like Walmart and all these places. They have grants. They have to give you guys money. It's a certain time of the year. Sometimes it might be the summertime or January. You gotta find out when it's like 2 months of a year that and so if they doing something in January and you show up in April, you're too late. Right. When your tournament's in August, you got to sign up in all these companies are entitled to give you this stuff, but you got to have the right paperwork and tax ID number. Without that, don't even.
So that's the question. So are you guys an LLC or are you a nonprofit?
Nonprofit.
Let's go.
But you could be be something. You know what I mean? Just don't like have insurance on people. Have $1 million. You get $1 million insurance for like $200, $100.
Yep, cheap.
You know,
Yep.
just to cover yourself.
Yeah.
Like even us, when it rains, we got access to any gym in LYNN if we want.
Yeah.
Like we're not waiting. Like we're seeing the rain and calling up people. We already got the keys. We got the janitors on deck. Yeah. So when it starts raining and getting dark, we're calling the janitor. He's like, "Yo, the gym will be open in 5 minutes." We're not running around while it's raining.
Yeah.
We book all this stuff months in advance. It's all a lot of this, and LYNN plays a big part in our tournament. Everyone donates and helps out, and we're just the face of it. We're the guys just maintaining. I always said, he already built. I'm just maintaining. So eventually, the next guy that comes up, you know, they're gonna be. Our names are on the basketball court. You know what I mean? So, but our Michael Jordan of LYNN is definitely Anthony Anderson.
Right. That was gonna be my question.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Who's the hooper? Who's the guy?
Yeah,
So Anthony, I played in the tournament. I played in the gym one time. It was raining, and I played. The first time I played with Anthony is, you know, we played pro together, so it's a different game. But the first time I actually seen him play or with him in Marian Gardens, he was going for blood. Yeah. You know, I was like, this dude's not passing me the ball. Usually he's like, yo,
did you bring Anthony out on that team with Troy and all of them? Remember, like, how did Anthony first?
Yeah, he was young. We trying to get him to
like,
play in it, and then he played into it, right?
Yeah, he was like 16 or 17.
Yeah. And once I remember I was just on the phone with him talking about this here, about sitting down with you, and he was like, Fred, man, like, you know how much I missed that. Like when we walk in there and I get ready for them, the Marian Gardens tournament, or the Hogan's Classic or the Shoe City Classic. He's like, it was just crazy. You know what I mean? Like, and you know what happened was Brunson set the record at 50 points.
Yeah, Rick Brunson.
And when Brunson scored the 50 points, Ant came down the following summer. So it was on. He had 35 at halftime.
Yeah.
So 35 at halftime, you knew what he was going for. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. In the hood, they're trying to play defense on him.
Yeah.
And they know I'll let him get 50 points.
Yeah.
So dudes are trying to be like, yo, I can stop Anthony Anderson in front of his home crowd. But he was on cook mode.
He's definitely a player.
Well, Ant made his mark when Scooney Penn came down.
Yeah, he was going at him.
Yeah, and then that's what it was all about. The whole hood was like, Ant versus Scooney, let's go. And Ant just like destroyed him. Shout out to Scooney Penn, though. You know what I mean? Scooney, man. Holla at me, man. You know, I know you down in Memphis, man. I'll be down there, man. But
I might have to have him on the show.
But Ant is the god. Like, if someone gave me $10,000 to build a statue, I would say build it a van.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? Ant is the you're talking about a guy that if he plays at 4 o'clock, he shows up at like 3:55, gets 40 points on
Now
you.
we're giving Ant the statue, right? Many good players walk through that Marian Gardens fence and shit the bed.
Yeah.
When the crowd's there and you're you're getting 4 points, or you play D1 basketball, you're getting 4 points in Marian Gardens. You shouldn't even be out here right now. You get people boo you like there's players that get in.
And not to cut you off,
Right.
that's another thing about our tournament. Our crowd is like, it makes that tournament because their basketball IQ is crazy. Like, if you're playing against Ant and you're getting busy on Ant, like, they'll cheer for you. They're like, hey, he just got you. Now you got to get at him.
Yeah.
Like, we got this crowd ain't just a LYNN crowd.
Right.
They want to go. They
about the game.
they about the game. You know what I mean? But when it start getting tight, that's when they turn into LYNN in the fourth quarter. But the first 3 quarters, they cheering for basketball.
Yeah. So if you're in high school, Ant's in high school prime, what's that battle like?
No, Ant's the best of all time.
Best of all time.
High school, college, pros, however you want to spend it. There's no
comparison.
He's got like close to 17, close to 1,800 points.
Plus the assists.
Yeah,
over 1,000 assists in high school.
People are happy to get 1,000 points.
Right.
Now a lot of people nowadays is forging 1,000 points, saying it's all made up now. But Ant graduated in 2000. So that was a different time when them 1,000 points really mattered. And played against Charlestown.
Oh yeah.
They was loaded over there. Everybody on their team was going like Division I. And and almost beat them by this. I think Tony Lee was on that team, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Well, maybe he wasn't. I'm not sure.
Nah,
Maybe,
he
My bad, T. Lee. Don't holler at me later. But they had a great team either way.
Yeah.
And he almost beat them themselves. And Jack O'Brien was the coach, and he called up UMass and was like, "Yo, this guy, take this guy from LYNN. He's the real deal." He almost beat us by something. Charlestown beat people by 40, 50 points every night.
Yeah, they beat us by 20, and our team was the best.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, yeah,
and
they
almost
had,
beat them by this. And listen,
Yeah.
whatever. And again, like Fred said, you know, even his brother Antonio Anderson was unbelievable down there. A lot of people who came in, but Ant's the Michael Jordan of that, hands down.
You know, it's funny you saying everything, and a lot of things you said today I didn't even realize, and I feel like a lot of people don't. So when you think about underrated success, that's it right there. You know what I mean? The 100 sponsors, the giving away money for you know, that's all everything. People need to know that because I think it'll put a light more so on that tournament, and not just the tournament. It's you as people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We give out donations like crazy. Like, so funny. I think one time in 2006 to 2010. Remember we did the Shoe City?
Yeah.
But not the Shoe City, the tournament. We did some high school stuff. Well, we got 4 high schools in LYNN, and we had a game and a banquet.
Scholarships and banquets, everything.
And we gave 500 to
4 schools.
4 schools, 2 boys and 2 girls.
Yeah.
And we did that for 4 years. So I think we gave about $8,000. You know what I mean? So that's where we build up our relationship in our community. Like, it ain't just, now we got another thing called Big Time Ballers, which is we have an elementary game and a high school game. It's the best players in the city of LYNN. And then 2 months after that, we have a game called Protect Our Streets, which me and him do together. Basically what that is, it's an elementary game, middle school game, high school game, a women's game, and a men's game. But it's Eastland versus Westland.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you have to, if you two are best friends and y'all go to the same school, if you live in Eastland and Westland, you have to play on that side.
Teams, yeah.
So we play to come together to say, like, basically like what my man was saying, like, a lot of people can't go in certain hoods.
Right.
One thing about LYNN, everyone's welcome. There's none of that, you can't go here and you can't go there. Right. We're not doing that.
So another thing about the tournament that we should talk about is that LYNN keeps the trophy almost 80% of the time.
90% of the time.
Yeah, 80-90% of the time, don't cross the bridge. So
I said 90% of the time.
That's real tough right there. There's been some real battles, but we had a core of LYNN dudes that was stacked. Don't get me wrong, we added one dude to there like we needed a big. We put a big on it because you know the hardest thing to find in street ball is big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's one thing we always make it pride to keep the trophy on our side, and it has crossed the bridge.
Yeah.
3
So
times.
do you have a 35 and over now?
We did that one year.
I'm just saying, I want to play now.
We did that one year, right?
I think we did that 1 year.
Yeah, OGT.
see, 1 year.
LYNN
I want to
versus
play. You know, a lot of guys are still hooping. You know what I'm saying?
Boston. Yeah, we did LYNN versus Boston 1 year, and actually LYNN won that game. So,
but back to Ant real quick. Another thing people don't know, which I have the utmost respect for. You know, Ant's out in Canada, and he would always call me and say, "Cuz, you know, he'd be like, just let me know the date of the tournament, cuz that's when I'm picking one time to come back all year, and that's it. With Ant, people are like, oh, it's hard to get him. I pick up the phone, Ant's there. All Ant want to know is a month in advance so he can move some things around. We get him here, you know, we put him up in a hotel, we get him a rental. He don't ask for much, so just so he can move around. But he don't even want that, but it's just a love. Like, you came all the way, you came all the way from Canada. Ant don't want anything, but that's the least we can do. You know, he comes in probably like Thursday night, and then he gets out of there like Monday morning. So, but he gets to spend time, because the way that tournament set up, you could see everybody that whole weekend right there.
Right. Yeah,
you know what I mean? No one leaves. Once you come, you're trapped.
Yeah.
You know, people say all the time, they don't, because the way it's boxed in, you don't know if it's 5,000 people or 5 people in there. we don't really have police detail because everyone behaves.
Right. That's
You know?
respect, right?
You know,
Yeah.
we police ourselves.
Yeah, the police might come through, but we don't ask for police detail. But since I became a city councilor, they did tell me out of all these years we need a permit now. I'm like, hold up, we need a permit now after 28 years, which is crazy. Like, I'm like, we never had a permit down there. To have
So
we ain't get no permit.
Before we wrap it up, we just want to. You just said the city council, so just talk a little bit about that and the process of getting to that point.
Well, I've been in my neighborhood my whole life. Like you said, my street, my terrace, LaGrange Terrace, that's where I live still to this day. When you're a city councilor in LYNN, you represent your ward. I'm Ward 6. Ward 6 is the neighborhood. Marian Gardens, Shepherd Street. It's where I was born and raised. Everyone knows me. They know me from doing stuff, coaching basketball, doing stuff with kids, helping out kids in the city. And then dude was leaving. He was like, you want to do it? I kind of didn't want to get into the politics because politics suck, to tell you the truth. But I got into it, and I knew I could make a difference in my neighborhood, that part of LYNN. And like I said, I went after Warren Street Park first, got new hoops, got all that stuff there. We got another park done. We're going to get some more work done at Marian Gardens because that's our baby right there. And those are the things I went after first because that's real. And I tell dudes, I might be a LYNN city councilor, but I'm a Ward 6 city councilor, so I'm taking care of my area first. So that's how it was with the politics. But it's the people of your neighborhood that voted you in. You know what I mean? So it was like, you know, it's an honor too to be able to walk. I still walk down the streets and jog my neighborhood, and you know, it's good stuff.
Well, you're here with us.
Yeah.
You know.
And another thing, like you said, like a lot of people, my experience, like all you guys out there that's trying to do tournaments and or even if you are doing them, try to do them in your neighborhood. Stop worrying about who got the best gym or I can get this college or I can get this. That's
feel.
It's not the feel. Your neighborhood, like I don't care if you're from Orchard Park or Mission Hill or wherever you're from, do it there because those are the people that love you. You know what I mean? Those are the people that's going to support you. You can get all the support right there. You know, you got to do it for them. You can't be worrying about, like, if someone told me, I'm from Marian Gardens. If I had to do my tournament and that's a part of LYNN, I don't want to do it no more. Like, I love LYNN, but that's where we're from. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, stop trying to worry about the best gym or this or that. The people, your people who you grew up with are going to, like, the local corner store, you know, they know you, so they're gonna sponsor you. Right. You running around different no one knows you.
Like we said, whatever we need for Marian Gardens, we got. We got 2 glass backboards put up from a liquor store. Mm-hmm. He didn't want his name on there, nothing. He was like, Fred, I like what you guys
when
are doing
no one
for the
had
kids.
Glass backboards.
We put them up first. We were the first ones.
2012 or something.
And
That's
at the
moon
2010. See, I can say MC Hale's Liquors now because they're on Commercial Street, but they did that for us. $8,000 back then is a lot of money, and you would never ask nobody for that, right? And he did that for us because he knew what our basketball and what it was doing for the kids in our neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he runs all the summer programs that have to do with basketball in the city. So his foundation was already set. I was just like watching, and I was just saying like, man, but let me watch his mistakes so I can learn from that. A lot of people don't have someone they can learn from to watch their mistakes. Like if I didn't have him, I'd probably have the same mistakes everyone else has. Yeah. But I already knew his positives and all that. I knew what he brought because he
knew what hurt me too. I
got
mad.
Yeah,
damn man. Yeah, I ain't letting them do me like that.
Yeah, right? You know what I mean? So I don't really have too many problems because of his struggles. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I can't pull it off without this guy, man. Like he does my schedules. He still telling me to go see certain people behind the scenes. You'll go see this guy and he MCs the whole, the whole weekend. So we don't, like, people still think it's his tournament because all they see is him there. But for everyone who's listening, yo, this is my brother, man. We don't trip over that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's another thing. You got to stop the egos. You know what I mean? I'm comfortable with what I bring to the table, and he's comfortable. You know what I mean? So...
Shit, I'll tell you the truth. That tournament was my wife for 20 years, man. But I was like, yo, I'm going to let her go, but I better give it to my boy, yo. So I made sure if someone's going to take care of my girl, he going to do it. And he did that, man. That's what it was real.
Yeah,
it was real,
you know what I mean? But the egos, again, we don't have no staff. We just do everything. Like
I had a staff,
Well,
bigger staff than him. So I ain't
Right.
lying to you, man.
But no, he had a staff, but not like a staff. Like, yo, I'm out there at 6 a.m. setting up, just setting up probably till like noon, and then by noon everything's rocking, and then like the last game's at midnight. I'm out there till like 3, 4 in the breaking it down.
People don't understand you're there
You know?
for 3 days every hour of the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Last year
It's
was
a
the
long
first
day.
time in 27 years I went out to eat with my wife during the tournament. It was weird. Like I'm out somebody else and
You
the
was thinking
game's
about the
going on.
tournament.
But it was going on. It was like it was crazy. Like wow, I like walked away for a little while.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it was like weird. This weekend I always have my
And
life.
you know what I
is
said
always
to him? I
fun.
said, "You picked this weekend to go out to eat with your wife? Like really? You know, I felt a certain way. You know what I mean? Because I was like, yo, like he'll tell you, I felt a certain way. I was like, yo, this is the weekend you picked to take your wife out to eat. Like, because he's right. It's a holiday, man. You supposed to be here. Like we got so many people that live in LYNN, that live in like LA, Detroit, New York, Chicago, and they always call in June and say, when's the tournament? And I was like, I give them the date, and because that's the weekend they just want to come home to see their mom or dad. That's the weekend they pick.
You're gonna see everybody.
Yeah, they just hit it all right there, and everyone's on a plane Monday morning.
Right.
But they base it on that.
That's beautiful stuff, fellas. We're gonna wrap it up. I appreciate you coming on the show because I know you guys are very busy.
Yep.
It's unfortunate that it's not a tournament this year, but it's fortunate for us that we can have you on this show.
Yep.
We'd like to have you back. We'll talk about those 2. I want 3 seats.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
we'll come
rest of
and
y'all
talk.
tournament, step up your VIP game.
Yeah, I want
All right.
So
I know you
heard
heard a
it
couple
here
other
first.
things. You know, I know you heard a couple other things I said too in there to step it up. You know what I mean? Be honest, man. Every summer I go to different people tournaments and I just play the background and I see what's missing.
Yeah.
And I just take it like, they ain't doing this, I won't even do this. You know what I mean? Who knows, man? I might let off balloons next year in the year. I want to just do. I don't want it to be a basketball tournament. I want it to be a party, a club. Or
be an
I want it to
experience.
be like me personally. I probably watch 1 game out of 3 days because there's other things going on where other people just making it about basketball. Like I don't want to make it about that. I want to make it a family event, and everybody know we the top dog.
Talking.
I said it. But I got love for every tournament because we got to, stick together. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
in
we
New England. at
Yeah,
that.
New England.
New England.
we statewide.
That's a fact.
All right, this is underrated success. Thank you for coming out.
No doubt.
Underrated.
But I ain't underrated.
Oh,
Get that sound like. Get that.
Underrated success.